Hey, what's up, you guys? How y'all doing? Well, baby, if you are Diddy, besides about to lose everything, people are starting to look past your relationships and they're starting to look at what's going on with your family unit. Guys, listen, what if I told you that people are actually accusing Diddy of doing the same thing that he's done to all his girlfriends, but to his children? Now, I'm not talking about the things he's actually being sued in court on. I'm talking about his sabotage, right? I'm talking about Puffy is being accused of sabotaging his sons and perhaps even his twin daughters, okay? Think about it. He has systematically gone out of his way, according to some reports, and we're going to get into how, to make sure that his sons never get bigger than him. The same way he sabotaged Biggie's career, so Biggie could never get too big, or if it did, it had to go through him. The same way he sabotaged Cassie's career. The same way he sabotaged Kim Porter's career. The same way he sabotaged every single artist on Bad Boy label, that a lot of people say that he did not want anyone to get as big as him. You were only allowed to get big as long as you took him along for the ride. And if the money could not flow through him, then he would blow things up. The same thing that Puffy does to his artists, he is now being accused of, and I'm going to lay the receipts out, of doing it to his own children, specifically Quincy and Justin. Right? Quincy and Justin and Christian. People are saying they must go through Diddy to make money. They must go through Diddy to make moves, and whenever they get a move outside of him, things go down. Again, some people have even accused him of pimping out his own offspring, right? No one can go to outside money, and no one can become a star outside of him. Let's start with the first person. Let's look at Quincy, right? Quincy. Now, Quincy actually could have had a huge acting career. Think about it. He has the looks of the actor. He has the height of an actor. He has the swag of an actor. And no lie, he's actually a good actor. He first burst on our scenes in a big way in Empire. He wouldn't let Quincy actually be in Empire, though. Here's the thing. He banned his son Quincy from appearing on the Fox television show Empire. Because allegedly, again, this is all speculation and opinion, alleged, until we see those shiny handcuffs on Sean Colmes, everything has to be alleged, right? But they're saying that Puffy found out his son Quincy would have to sign over a portion of his musical rights to the Fox network. They said stars on the show are subject to similar music contracts as those on other shows like American Idol. Empire features a score curated by Timbaland and includes original songs that are sold on iTunes and Spotify. Diddy threw a fit, though, a huge fit, and called all the top brass at 20th Century Fox to get them to change the rules over musical rights. He said there was no way his son was signing over his intellectual property, so he banned him from the show. Now, at that time, people are like, oh, no, you don't understand. They were trying to take over. You know, Puffy knows what he's doing, probably because Puffy, stole his musical rights allegedly from a lot of artists. But you guys, think deeper into that. Empire, yes, has musical rights, but Empire was launching Quincy as a star. There were other agents around, there were letter offers, and for whatever reason, Diddy could not get his fingers in the honeypot. It's not the point that Quincy, people are saying, that would have lost his musical rights. And it was just a portion. It's saying that the portion that Puffy always thinks should go to him was going to Timbaland. It's just a portion. It was a stupid move. People said that he was jealous and envious. And then he tried to come up and counter with a better idea. But everybody thought that wasn't going to go. Again, why would a dad do that? Why would a dad do that when your son People are saying look out, but you weren't looking out, because if they had let Puff control those musical rights, And when I say him control, I mean like Quincy still would have gotten his payday, but the percentage that would have gone to Timberland would have gone in Puffy's pocket. You see what I'm saying? It would have been paid. It just would have been paid to Puffy instead. That's not looking out for Quincy because first of all, you are a multimillionaire going on a billionaire. Your son needs his start in acting. Oh, but there's more. You know, the thing that shocks me the most about this is Puffy tried to save it as I'm a caring dad. I'm this, I'm that. But you stopped your son from an opportunity and it pretty much deaded his career in the water until there was a Star spinoff. You remember the spinoff show? Right? Puffy tried to run all up and down through that deal. If you don't remember, Lee Daniels and Puffy were in a feud around that time. He was also pulling rank to sabotage the show Empire. That's what people said. Naomi Campbell was the one that kind of bought Lee Daniels and Puffy together. Y'all, is Naomi writing a tell-all book? Because I know she's seen some things, right? She was all up in that mix too, right? Now, why did they broker a peace deal? Because Lee Daniels still wanted Quincy to appear on an episode of his television show Empire. So Lee Daniels backed up. He's like, okay, fine. He doesn't have to star. Can he just appear on an episode? Because I think this boy is talented. Again, this had nothing to do. Again, this is what people are saying. This had nothing to do with musical rights anymore because it was just one episode. But even with the musical rights, Puffy still had a problem. Lee Daniels had to ask Naomi Campbell to ask Puffy, could your son please appear on a show? Now, as soon as they started going through Diddy directly as a controller and not Quincy's agents, it was announced that Quincy will appear for a role on the second season of Empire. He's super excited about having Quincy on the show, okay? And there was an Instagram picture of Lee Daniels and Lee Daniels and Puffy hugged up, okay? Hugged up with Lee looking at him like that look. But the Star deal, people are saying that when he was like, okay, fine, we're doing a spinoff, Puffy was all up and down that deal, in and out, to the point of he was asking for terms that were so ridiculous that they just bowed out and said, you know what, we can find another aspiring actor. Now, Quincy is not out of work, but for a father that has as much money, reach, influence as Diddy, and your son is a talented actor and got everything he needs to be, and people wanted him, ask you why Quincy ain't in so much stuff. Again, he can only be in stuff that Puffy makes money from. All right. You know what we need to talk about? Let's talk about his son with Kim Porter. Right? Christian. You know Christian. Diddy's mini-me. He actually looked better than Diddy because he got his mama's face, right? But let's talk about his son, Christian Colmes, who everybody said at one time was a super, super talented rapper. He had his dad's flair. He was there to be up next, right? He was up next. So what happened to him? He had the greatest gift in the world. He announced on Instagram, yesterday was the greatest day of my life. This is for his 18th birthday. Not only was it my birthday, but also the day a dream come true. I got signed to Epic and Bad Boy Records. I'm extremely thankful for everything that God has blessed me with, and I will never take it for granted. Music is something that's been part of me my whole life. Epic, hashtag epic, hashtag bad boy, hashtag we got this, hashtag where Christian Colmes been at? Where has Christian Colmes been at? He got the talent. His daddy got the organization. So why? Tell me why has he not actually had anything of substance come out or been pushed? Why? When his dad is the platform, when his dad has the industry connections. And it's not because Christian don't have talent. People are saying that the reason is Diddy is jealous. He will not even allow his offspring, his sons, to outshine him. There is only one star in that show, and everything may flow in and nothing will flow out. Again, the same thing people are saying that Diddy does to his artists, he's actually doing to his own kids. Now, I do want to say with the Cassie stuff and the Kim Porter stuff, of course, I'm not suggesting anything untoward of the blankial nature, of course, but I am saying just side note, do we really honestly think that someone that has that high a temper, someone that is that controlling, somebody is that obsessive, somebody that feels that they have ownership of people, someone whose temper is so hot and crazy, do we honestly believe for 1 second that when your kids or your daughter or your sons or whoever, you tell them to do A and they're like, no, I'm going to do B. Do you not think that temper rears its head? Or do you think like, oh, no. He never crossed that line because he loves his children. Maybe. I really honestly do hope so. But I don't know. We have to start asking these questions. Because even though he's always on the red carpet, giving that smile, acting like the best dad in the world, wasn't he always on that red carpet? Giving that smile, acting like the best man in the world? I'm just saying. But let's move on to the most startling thing. Let's move on to Justin. Because this one is actually the saddest one. And this is the one that Mr. Hilton Brim actually wanted to talk about. Because if you guys don't know what happened with Justin was on the UCLA football team. Okay? Which I always thought was surprising because Justin's build and stature, he just doesn't seem like he could go pro, but you never know, right? But that gets into Puffy and the sabotage that Misa Hilton Brim even called him out on. See, because a lot of people don't know that Justin Colmes actually got into the Ivy League, all right? He was accepted into the Ivy League. He was said to be entering Harvard University. They did not know what major he was. Misa Hilton Brim had done such a good job of raising him that he got into Harvard and he was going to be entering it until Diddy heard about that. And that's when Diddy convinced him to actually enroll in UCLA to be closer to him in Los Angeles. Now, some people said that Diddy is jealous and envious, and he didn't like the fact of Justin going to Harvard and maybe getting so smart that he figures out that he needs to stay away from his dad. Some people said that the Harvard thing kind of felt like it was outshining. Other people said it was just a selfish thing where he wanted Justin closer to him because he likes to control everybody around him, including his children. Now, the thing is that UCLA team, let's go back to that. The coach actually came out and said that Diddy's son, Justin, only made the UCLA team because of who his daddy was. It turns out that they doubled down that he was only there. The former UCLA coach, Rick Newhelsey, who was the coach who recruited Justin back in 2011, gave some background information about Diddy and his throwdown with the coach. We're going to talk about that in a second because this pretty much wraps everything up. They said that when you're weighing the assets of what a youngster can do for your program, there's no question being Diddy's son has something to do with it for me. The fact his father was an influential guy played into my decision to go ahead and offer him a point on the team. Now get this. They also went on to say that Diddy actually got into a fight with one of Justin's coaches on the team. So Diddy used his influence to lure Justin to Los Angeles and been like, listen, if you come, why don't you try out for the UCLA football team? People said it was kind of like a handshake. All right, fine. Well, let your son be on the football team, even though he really has no hope of being a professional football player. Mind you, this is something Diddy wanted instead of Justin going to an Ivy League, Harvard University. Okay? It then turned into Justin seemed to be performing very, very well on the football team. However, a coach commented that Justin looked a little out of shape and there was something said, right? Justin was actually removed from the workout. Justin went to Diddy that the coach basically told him, you need to work harder. You're not in enough shape. What's going on? Diddy then went, again, you got your son on the team that he needs to work harder. He's not in peak physical condition. He's this and that. You know how football is coaches are hard. Now, maybe the coach went a little bit too far, but Justin went and told his dad, do you know what the coach did to me? Diddy, instead of handling it like an adult, Diddy, instead of handling it like a business meeting, Diddy, instead of thinking about his son's future that he had sold him a dream to get, right? Diddy went over and assaulted Justin's coach. That's right. Diddy brutally assaulted one of Justin's coaches because Justin couldn't live up physically and he was out of shape. He wasn't putting as much work as he should have into being a defensive back of the team. And he wasn't putting in the time. The coach, Sam Alosi, literally started reading Justin down in practice. When Diddy heard about it, he rushed over there and he literally attacked the coach. He confronted Alosi in the office. He grabbed a kettlebell and tried to crack open the coach's head. The head coach called it an unfortunate incident for all parties concerned, and they referred the matter over to the police. Puffy claimed he was operating in self-defense. The people that were close to the whole situation that actually witnessed it said that Puffy is actually an overbearing nuisance at practice, and that he was acting like it was his team, and he had the right to say, and he had the right to do. And by literally putting Justin in their place, they were basically trying to put Diddy in his place. Now listen, let's get into this because we know kids do stuff, but are you guys starting to see a pattern with Puffy? It makes me believe that his whole family man facade is just a big, a facade. Just like him being the perfect husband, perfect partner, heartbroken, widow, or not widow because they were never married, but you get what I'm saying. I think that these rumors are true. I think that Diddy sabotages his own offspring the same way he sabotaged Cassie's career, the same way he sabotaged Danity Kane's career, the same way he sabotaged Total's career, the same way he sabotaged 112's career, the same way that at the end of the day, Puffy doesn't care about anybody but himself, and he basically sees everybody around him as a tool to make a come up. And this was an end on top of that. I believe he might be because he is very jealous and envious and insecure. I believe he knows he's getting older. I know he knows that his children are younger, fitter, better at a lot of things. I know that he sees his star as fading in the same way he attached his star to Carisha's because he wanted that youth, that energy, is the same way he is attaching his star to Quincy, to Justin, to Christian. And it's the same way that every single time they get opportunities outside of him, he shuts those opportunities down. And the weird part is he doesn't do anything to give them more opportunities because at the end of the day, I think he was happy to be controlling and make sure that every penny they had, and he has a lot of them, comes through him so he can always maintain complete control. Y'all listen, what do you think, right? What do you think? At the very least, it does make sense that he doesn't allow his children to make money outside of him and any star power. And if you're saying, well, that's what he should do. Okay, but then why isn't he putting his own kids on? Why isn't he producing his own thing? You see what I'm saying? You're taking these opportunities away, but you're not putting anything back in. And listen, don't even get me started on Jesse. But you know what? I just hope that this perfect family man, loving father, all this stuff is true. And before y'all be like, oh, well, they post on Instagram, and so was Cassie, and so was Kim, and so was Puffy. That's all I'm saying. Actions speak louder than words. The proof is in the pudding. Where is a billionaire's sons, 3 sons who have a lot of talent? Justin missed his opportunity to go at Harvard, went to UCLA, got pulled over, got kicked off the football team, got pulled over, and now he got a DUI. Misa Hilton Brim seems to think that Puffy's leading him down the wrong track and literally trying to dim his shine. Quincy, who could have been huge, is doing nothing, all because there was 10% of his recording of records that Puffy wanted to go to him instead of Timberland. And look at Christian, been signed to Bad Boy Records forever, ain't put out nothing, and Puffy ain't trying to get him to really be in the starlight. Y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.